Hello and welcome to the first of a series of Dragon Dialogues. We're here at this beautiful venue, Miskin Manor, just outside of Cardiff in South Wales, and we're celebrating Naked Dragon's Welsh launch, which is very, very exciting. Exciting for me personally because it marks a return to my homeland, so it's wonderful to be living back here now in South Wales, and I'm absolutely delighted that we are about to start a talk with Dr. David Hamilton at our first Welsh event, and it's a sellout event, which is just amazing. So I'm very, very excited on so many different levels. So David, it's a great honour to share this experience with you.
Oh, thanks. It's brilliant to be here. What a cool venue. Absolutely stunning. And I have got a superb room. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm so pleased.
What a lovely place.
Yes. We do like to look after our speakers here at Naked Dragon, in case you were wondering. We do go the extra mile to make sure that our speakers are happy. And so the venue's beautiful, the room's beautiful. And what did you say when you saw the function room as well? You said it was the most beautiful place.
The coolest place I've ever spoken in. I mean, literally looking down from that balcony onto it, I'm like, whoa! Ornately, attention to detail, beautiful decor, great feeling.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yeah, we're so blessed. We have the most gorgeous function room, which I'm sure that we'll show you on a future Dragon Dialogue, called the Minstrel's Room, or Minstrel's Gallery, or Minstrel something else. Actually, I can't remember what the third word was. So looking forward to that. Will be starting fairly shortly.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've worked together a number of times in the past, haven't we? At different venues throughout the UK, and so this marks. Well, we're moving on to new subjects next time, aren't we? Because tonight's talk's all about the mind-body connection.
Well, tonight it's subjects that so many people, when my last book came out called I Heart Me, my last book, I've been doing so many speaking events on that subject, which is what happens when you get a new book coming out. Everyone wants to hear the new talks. And I've had lots of people email me saying, you've not done any of the power of the mind, or how your mind can heal your body, that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, that's kind of true. I actually haven't. And there's so many people who want to hear that. So it's really great. This is the first one of those I've done in a wee while. I love that subject. And I realised myself I've hardly been speaking on it for a while, so it's great.
Yes, it's one of my favourite subjects as well. The power of our mind to heal our body is just quite incredible, really, isn't it? And it forms a very important part of your story as well, because that's because of the research that you did originally with the placebo effect when you were working in the pharmaceutical industry. That's what led you on to actually become an author and to do more research on exactly this.
Yeah, it's just recognising, as you know, I was a scientist with one of the world's biggest, actually, pharmaceutical companies. And when you start to see that every drug trial that you do has a number of people making an improvement, and sometimes you have as many people, or just about as many people, improving on placebo as the actual drug. And the point I make to people is it's not that the drug isn't working, because it is. Because people like me used to build them. I have a PhD in organic chemistry. That's nothing to do with organic food. You basically, it's like Lego with atoms. So I would take like a bunch of carbons, bunch of hydrogens, a couple of oxygens, nitrogens, maybe a wee sulfur, me magnesium or an iron, and build it all together. Like, you can build anything out of Lego, you can build anything out of atoms, right? So we'd build then a particular shape and with a particular set of qualities that you're looking for to maybe turn something on or off, or fit in a wee hole or a wee pocket in the body. So you know that they work, because you build them for that reason. But here's the thing, if a placebo, people taking a placebo, if you get, let's say 100 people get the drug and 75 improve, and let's say you get 60 people improving on the placebo, people say, the drug's not working very well because, it's not that much better than placebo. It's not that at all. The drug is working. It's just your mind produces its own biology that often does the same job. So what you often see actually is drugs struggle, people make an assumption this drug doesn't work, and it's actually because your mind is so damn powerful that it's producing its own biology. The strength of your belief in a doctor or in a medicine or in whatever you're believing in, the strength of your belief can alter your biology so much that it can produce almost sometimes the same effect as the actual drug you would spend $250 million making.
Yes.
And this is what I'm saying as a chemist myself. Medicines really do work. I'm the first one to say if I need medicines for an illness or a disease, absolutely I would take them. But what I'm also saying is your mind exerts a considerable effect on the seeming potency of what you take, but also on day-to-day things. Your mind can exert such an effect it can make something work better or worse, depending on what's going on in your head. And that's what I find particularly fascinating. Not mind instead of medicines, but mind in addition to medicines, because you can have exert such a powerful effect either way, depending on what's going on in your head.
So is this how it also fits in to the power of self-love and self-belief in terms of creating the right conditions for self-healing? Does it all work well together?
Absolutely, because one of the core notions with self-love, I sometimes think of self-love as, let's say, an inner sense of your own worthiness and value. So if you have a deep inner sense of your worthiness and value, you might say you have self-love.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, self-love equating then to self-esteem, roughly. So if you have that inner sense of worthiness and value, then underlying your determination to heal from an illness or to recover from even a simple thing like a cold, something like that, underlies that is your worthiness. If you believe that you are worthy to have all these good things, you're worthy of health, you're worthy of happiness, because actually you find a lot of us with difficulties in life, and I'm not just talking about health, I'm talking about relationships and finances and career challenges. If you keep unpeeling the layers of the onion and dissecting down, why is this happening? Why do I feel that way, etc.? And why do I feel that way? Why do I feel that way? That person says this or does that, and why does that affect me like that? And keep unpicking the layers. What you often come down to is a feeling of a thought one way or the other about your own worthiness to receive happiness, or your worthiness to receive good things, or even health in your life. So sometimes when you deal with the issue of worthiness, it can make it easier to therefore heal, therefore get more success with your career, finances, or have better relationships. It's that worthiness, to that inner sense of your own worthiness. I deserve this because I'm entitled to it. Instead of feeling I'm not entitled to it, I have to work for health, or I have to work for happiness, etc.
So does that also work then, that as people build their self-worth and their self-esteem, that they also improve their immune system? So in fact they're not as susceptible to dis-ease as they might have been when they're feeling less self-worthy.
Because in the sense that the stress you experience in relation to the challenges of your life is lessened. So therefore, because consistent stress can have a dampening effect on your immune response, so therefore, in the sense of relieving yourself of that stress, and ultimately if you build your sense of worthiness, then you build what comes along with that as happiness. So with that sense of happiness becomes less stress, and therefore becomes a more enhanced immune system. So there is a really obvious link between self-love in that sense and your immune system and your cardiovascular system.
So happy people generally are healthier people. If you generalise.
If you generalised over a lot of people, and day-to-day individuals, one person to the next, you probably wouldn't see the effect. But averaged over a lot of people, what you find, if you look at, in fact, social networks, 10,000 or more people, then what you'll find is people who have more connections, people who are happier, also tend to have the healthiest cardiovascular systems. And the comparison isn't really drawn between happiness and cardiovascular systems. It is there, but the bounce off point seems to be social connection. Interacting with people seems to make you happier. It seems to also at the same time make your cardiovascular system stronger.
Which I guess also ties in as well, because you're probably one of the most prolific speakers out there, really. You do so many different events, but in terms of the fact that they are live events, it brings people together. So you talk about that sense of connection. So people love coming to your events for that very reason. Obviously first and foremost they're coming to hear you speak, but also there's that connection with other what I like to call like-spirited people, as well as like-minded people, like-spirited people. And so that coming together at events like this also ticks that connection box.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, there's so much chit chat when I do talks and workshops, and I can encourage it because I enjoy part of the thing that I enjoy about doing what I do is chatting to people, interacting with people. It's fun. You know, it's important for your health actually to be interacting with people. So it's good to actually get out and mix. And I think these kind of events are social events because people chat beforehand, they chat afterwards. A lot of people meet new friends for the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's been quite amazing over the last 5 years of Naked Dragon. The amount of connections that have been made with people coming to the events, friendships, romance, business partnerships, all kinds of things happen, and it's really magical. And as an organiser, we only get to see a little tiny bit of what happens post-event, and it's lovely when you do hear of a success story. It's wonderful feedback, and it kind of makes it all worthwhile as well as an organiser to see how people grow and change and benefit from coming along. So David, what's next for you? So you're going to be doing some more writing and new projects?
I've got a couple of irons in the fire.
Okay.
I'm not totally clear on exactly how and what I'm doing yet, so
we haven't had any time. Have you been too busy being
Bob
the Builder?
Bob the Builder, yeah. I've been interiorly building the inside of my house.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm covered in dust and cement most days.
But not today. You look pretty.
No, I had a shower this morning.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're honoured, Wales.
Yeah. But usually I'm covered in dust and cement. I've had cement sticking to the side of my face, and in fact yesterday I was covered in plaster. I was plastering 2 walls yesterday, covered and caked in plaster. So but I'm working on a couple of things, but I'm just not clear exactly what direction I'm taking them in. So watch this space.
Well, I guess there's lots of similarities between building jigsaws out of atoms and building houses out of various materials.
I hadn't made that connection actually. I hadn't made that connection, but that's
Build it and they will
right.
come. Yeah. Oh well, I wish you all the best with your new project. I'm looking forward to the housewarming party when it's finally done.
I'm looking forward to moving in. I've been renovating for 6 months. Still living at the in-laws.
Well, good luck with it all. Looking forward to this evening. It's a real pleasure, and I'm so pleased that you're here to be our first speaker in Wales.
I'm honoured. Thanks for inviting me to be your first speaker. It's a privilege for me too. So thank you.
Thank you, David, and thank you for listening to the first ever Dragon Dialogue. Look forward to connecting with you again soon. Hey. High five! Yeah. Thanks, David.